Hey, welcome to the Crazy Dre Podcast Show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here's time to talk about sports. A little different subject. Obviously, we got infidelity going on again in the sports journalism world. So let's talk about these two. I'm gonna give you my point of views of the big what's the big deal about this, right? Obviously, they're both married. They both work for a big time business. Obviously, Mike Verbo is working for the New England Patriots, and Danielle Rossini was working for the NFL, ESPN, and all this other stuff, the athletic organization. And then she resigned for a position. Basically, she probably resigned because it's bad for the brand, for the NFL, and for the athletic uh, business and company that she works for. They don't want to promote people cheating on each other, and it's bad business for women journalism. So that's why she got fired. That's it. That's the basis of the line. Because there are other people in the sports world, other women in the sports world that will be affected by this, and I think this is a negative setback for women because they want to be treated as equal, and they should. And there's a bottom line that is very misunderstood or misrepresented. And this is what it is. Women in sports as journalism, when you're interviewing men, it's a whole different field because obviously Danielle Rossini was looking for a favor, inside story about New England Patriots. She gets paid by having the story out there and getting the inside scoop about the quarterback, any type of controversy. That's how she makes her money. True story. Okay. Mark Verbal gets paid to coach guys. He doesn't have to worry about losing his job unless his team loses. Is that fair? Depends how you want to look at it. To be honest with you, this is what people should really think about. Why isn't Danielle Rossini interviewing women's basketball or women's sports or women's soccer or women's gymnastics or whatever that is that women play, sports? Wouldn't it make more sense for her to be a journalist in the field of women athletes? But no, it doesn't because she's not going to get paid as much as she's interviewing the guys, the male, the fellas, right? That's why people care. And to be honest with you, she has little respect for her husband, and as much as Mike Verbal actually does not have respect for his wife. But that's a whole different compass. That's a whole different thing. But it's not. I get what I'm trying not to say. But but here's the thing. Where does it start? Where does it end? Who's responsible? Should he lose his job too? And why not? It takes two to tangle. But if you were in that position where you had the opportunity to be with her in that intimate moment and she give you all the good feelings inside, would you not take that offer too? I think I would have. You know, it doesn't seem fair, but you know what? That's old school. That's old Mother Nature doing Mother Nature stuff. This is how boy plus girl combine together. It's true. This isn't made up. This is not new into our field of biology. This is always the case. The pretty girl will get the alpha male and they will procreate. The procreation in this case is the story behind the New England Patriots. So then she can get on Get Up and the NFL Network and whatever and talk about it. And she's not the first one to do this. Okay? So you can't blame her for doing this. You can't blame him for give in to what she wants. But in reality, maybe she wanted him more than he wanted her. So maybe he was doing her a favor. And I think that a lot of people get upset by this. I think if you're a woman journalist, you probably should be upset by it. Because there are plenty of other women that would not sleep with a guy to get the inside story. But that's the moral compass too, right? Everybody has their compass of morality that's different for different reasons. But I'm not going to get into that because that's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat. You know, it's too much, just way too much. But I will say this. I think that if you're a guy and you see this, what does that tell you? That tells you that, you know what? If I am in that position and a pretty girl, comes up to me and she wants something from me, does that mean I can give it to her? Because I'm gonna give something to her, and the payback is what I'm gonna tell her about my story, my life, about my business, about whatever she wants. That's what it really boils down to. Okay. And I think a lot of people just don't see it that way. A lot of people, this is what we have a lot. We have either a lot of people divorcing each other and they're never happy. And you have those people who say they're happy, like so happy about being single, but they get so into the story about these two cheating on cheating on their spouses, which doesn't make sense. How can people get so upset with these two, and then how can people like women who are single can be upset because they can't find a husband or a boyfriend or to get remarried? It's simple. You're not giving the guy what he wants. And the guy, you're not giving the girl what she wants. It's money. It's an inside story. If you don't want to be alone for the rest of your life, go get a real job. Pay your bills, help raise the kids. You know what her job is really to do is not just pay the bills outside the house, but do things inside the house. Cook, clean, help to raise the kids. People don't want to hear that, but it's kind of true. For the guys, you have to do the yard work, mow the yard, trim the trees, help to raise the children, discipline your children. It's a balance. That's what it is. That's how boy plus girl meets. That's how they make it work. It's a true story. That's simple. That's all it is right there. You know what? It's funny when I see women complain about why they can't find a new husband or why men don't want to get remarried. Or you hear women say that they get spoofed when they go to the gym and guys are checking them out. But they're wearing their skimpy clothes. Well, I don't really call it skimpy clothes because it's just eye candy. If a woman wants to wear tight, leotard pants and you can see her butt shape, and her breast cup, her, her boob cup, that's fine with me. That's great. Let her do that. You know what? Most of those girls don't really care. That's why they wear it, you know? But you know what's stupid is that the women that do care that go to the gym that wear that stuff, then why are you at the gym wearing that type of stuff in the first place? You can't have it both ways. You can't be in an leotard suit with the shaping your body and your thick thighs and your big butts and your solid boobs out in those sports bra outfits. You can't ask men to respect you in the most honest way and then wear the most obvious gear. You can't have both. You can't have it both. You either wear that stuff, acknowledge that men will look at you, and then move on. That's simple. And I think if you're a guy and you see a girl that you like at the gym, you should just talk to her anyways. And if she says it's sexual harassment, I would just say, she was looking at me, I was looking at her, and we made eye contact for the last 3 or 4 times that we met at the gym. And then she did a 180 on me. And you know what I would do? If the gym said anything, like I would just tell the manager at the gym, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna still come to the gym, but I'll make sure I'll never make eye contact with her again. And that's all you have to promise to the manager or the supervisor at the gym. And if she has that problem, she's gonna have the same problem with another guy who's not in any way, shape, and form related to you. So if you're not there and she's there, there's gonna be another guy trying to make eye candy on her. And if she doesn't like it, then she can go to another gym where only women go to the gym. That's simple. You know, that's another thing I don't understand. If you have a gym, if you're a woman, go to the gym with more women. So you can all wear that together and not be spoofed out. You know? You know, women don't go to the gym to look strong, to look like they're trying to beat up a guy. They go to the gym so that men look at them. That's the whole point for women to go to the gym, unless they're athletes, unless they play sports in high school and college. But most of us don't even know that. We just figure that you're in the gym because you want to look good. You know? Guys go to the gym to feel good, but to weight lift for themselves. That's why we go to the gym. We work out because it makes us feel good. We want to look good for ourselves and in case of any physical confrontation against another man. It's always it's on our hard drive. That's why men like to look strong, so that in our hard drives we used to fight to stay alive. We used to protect the women and the children. And that's why men used to be trainers in the Roman Empire, in the Greek Empire, in the United States, in China, in Germany. That's why men fight. That's why men train in case we have to fight. We don't train as much as we think for women. We train because we can defend ourselves and we can protect the women that we love. That's why we do training. That's why we do physical fitness. That's the true story. That's why men go to the gym. Subconsciously, it's a subconscious thing to lift weights to represent strength. It's a true story. I don't think people should be so upset with Rossini. She did what she wanted to do. She wanted to get what she wanted. And she did things that most normal people do. And that's Little bada boom, bada bada bang. Bada bang, bada boom. So what? If I was better looking, if I wasn't disabled, I might have got that lucky with a girl like that. That's a true story. You know, that's true. I'm not lying to you. I'm not saying that would happen with her. I'm just saying that could happen if I was better looking physically. Girls don't want that. Girls don't want this hand around them. They just don't. You can see it in their eyes, in their facial expressions. They're very disturbed by it. They won't admit it, but they're disturbed. And then the girls that are attracted to people like me won't acknowledge that either. So we're always going to be alone. So all you guys out there who are not disabled, you can't feel sorry for yourself. You just can't. So there you go, folks. I'm going to leave it up there. I just wish that people would just stop complaining about the opposite sex and just mingle together and then realize that nothing lasts forever and then move on. It can't be that difficult. I wish I had that type of lifestyle. I wish I could have a girlfriend for every 4 years. That would be my ideal thing. My ideal thing is this. I would want to have a girlfriend, a serious girlfriend, for 4 years. We saw each other on a consistent basis. We went out to dinner, went on dates, we would shack together. And then 4 years down the road, we'd both be okay with separating from each other. And then a year goes by, you find a new girlfriend. And then you start over and you do that thing. You do things together for 4 years, and then you break up with her, and then you get a new girlfriend. That would be my ideal thing. That would be my ideal relationships with women. Because I know nothing can last forever. I know my soulmate, but I'm not anywhere, shape, and form near her at all. She knows who she is. She knows that I like her and she likes me. But we know that in this time and space, we're not together for obviously good reasons. I'm poor. She's financially better. I'm crippled. She's not. Morality, no, what am I saying? We're not together mostly because the way I look and the way she doesn't look like me. But that's the truth. Financial reasons, that's why I'm not with her. Physical reasons, that's why I'm not with her. And people around us, they don't want us together. Those are three good reasons for why she and I are not together. She's wealthy, pretty good off. I'm not. I'm physically disabled. She's not. People like her. People really don't like me physically. That's the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not lying to you. So I don't know what other guys out there are complaining about. Well, I can't find a girlfriend. Well, stop playing video games and watching the only fangirls. That's simple. Go talk to a girl. Go make her laugh. You know, I really do think that people should consider my relationship advice. Have a girlfriend or a boyfriend for 4 years, top 5 years. You break up, you give yourself a 6-month, a year break, and then you start finding that new girlfriend. And then you make her your girlfriend for 5 years, and then you break up with her. But the thing is that she has to be on board on the same theory. So if she wants to date you forever and want to get married to you forever, don't date her. If you're doing my theory, this is what my theory is. If you and her or your girlfriends down the road all agree that you have a 5-year span together, and then you break up, and then you go your separate ways, and you go find yourself a new girlfriend or new boyfriend, that's what people should do. If I could live my life over again, I would do that. I would most definitely do that. Most definitely, I would. I would start dating different women every 5 years and break up with them a year and a half later and start all over. And I would tell that girl the same thing. And if she says, yeah, that seems like a good idea. And then your money is your money and her money is her money. And when you pay rent together, you alternate rent. So she pays the bills 1 month, you pay the bills 1 month, and so on and so forth. That would be the ideal relationship that I would do, or I would tell people to have. Don't be alone forever. Don't be that guy, don't be that girl that don't like the opposite sex and says, I hate women. I hate them. Or don't be that girl that says, I hate guys. No. Be that guy and that girl. Like date 5 years, break up, find a new girlfriend. There you go. Give you some advice. All right, folks. Thank you for listening to Crazy Dre Podcast Show. If you like listening to my podcast, follow, see, go make love. Go try and find someone to make love to. That'd be my advice. Peace, love. Find me on Spotify, YouTube, Patreon. I'm out of here. Cheers.